All right, let's get number 56 started. You love it. It's been a tough year for us all, but we're going to make it through it all. Oh, wow. Wow. So, anyways, tell me how you sat last night and watched the paid for the pay-per-view with Mike Tyson on Tyson Triller, his fight against Roy Jones Jr. I'll tell you one thing, the wildest thing about it is you never would have thought that a 54-year-old man and a 51-year-old man, both ex-champions of boxing, both greats in their own right, legends, would go in and do an 8-round exhibition and take the chance of getting one of them hurt. But I tell you what, there was, I saw it this morning. I didn't pay for the pay-per-view. I was just not going to do that. But I saw it this morning, and wow, that's all I can say. It looked at any point that if Mike Tyson ever cut loose on Roy Jones, that he would knock him out. So a lot of different people are like, man, why are these guys coming out of retirement to do anything like this? But the whole thing is check them out. Look what they did. They set records with their pay-per-view for an exhibition match. They raised great money for charity. And, their undercard was pretty decent. Everybody got to see a really good knockout. Go in and check it out and watch the videos, and you can see it all. But, it's amazing how older guys can get out there and still pull a draw. I believe that Mike Tyson has 125 million or something like that followers on social media, so a lot of people would garner that. Oh, Lord, dear Lord, I would love that. So, you just got to believe in these old men. They came out, Tyson's legend-only league, and I bet there's going to be a lot of other good fights. And, just to say, I was doing some reading earlier. Riddick Bowe wants to fight Lennox Lewis. Now, that would be a good one, although I think Lennox Lewis would knock him out. I just believe that. Riddick Bowe was good, but I just think that Lennox Lewis would knock him out. So, anyhow, in some other news, President Donald Trump, okay, and I'm going to play a video on YouTube talking about, a little bit later on, talking about Joe Biden and how he garnered 80 million votes. Here's the craziest thing about it, okay? In the last administration, you had Barack Obama, okay? In his 2008 run, the man was a rock star. It was amazing. It was such a landslide that most people couldn't predict it, but it did happen. Not as good as his 2016 run. As his 2000 his second run at his office, he didn't do as good as the first time. But Joe Biden outdistanced everything that anybody's ever done in their run for the White House. You would just never think that. So, anyways, Donald Trump is reportedly considering kicking off his 2024 campaign during Joe Biden's inauguration. Boy, will that get up underneath the skin of the liberals out there. My God. So, reported by the Daily Beast, citing 3 unnamed sources, reported Donald Trump has not only talked to close advisors and confidants about a potential 2024 run to reclaim the White House, but just about the specifics of a campaign launch. He floated his idea of a 2024 related event during Biden's inauguration week, possibly on Inauguration Day, the news outlet reported. Well, you would think that Donald Trump would be a little bit upset with the results of the election. He had no idea. I don't think any of us did that Joe Biden would come out and garner 80 million votes. It seems to myself, Mel Highsmith here on the Real Opinion-Based Show, but to a lot of other people, that no one knew that Joe Biden was the most popular presidential candidate in the history of American politics. No wonder he's been in Congress for 50 years. So Bloomberg has reported that Trump said he planned to run in 2024 if his lawyers are unable to make the case to overturn the results of the 2020 election. And the idea has had some support from the GOP voters, the Daily Beast reported. Well, of course, there's going to be things. Everybody who is for Donald Trump feels 100% betrayed and let down due to the elections, okay? More people came out and voted for Donald Trump than they did for Barack Obama. And he still lost to Joe Biden, who no one knew that literally this gentleman was the most popular politician in the history of American politics. So a survey by 7-Letter Insight found that 66% of Republicans voters would support the president running again in 2024. And a morning consult poll from Politico found that 54% of voters, GOP voters, would vote for the president in the 2024 primary. So, 100 of his voters came out, 90% of them came out and voted for him. Now they're saying only 54% of those would vote for him because Biden's a rock star. Trump has refused to concede the election. All the news outlets have put out there that he should said, since Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, and all those guys, since they decided the president of the United States had already been pre-elected, that Donald Trump should just step out of the way. Hold on. But in the long run, I think we all knew what was going to happen. It may piss us off, something fierce, but we all got to believe that things can get better somehow, some way. So with Trump refusing to concede the election, he has allowed the General Services Administration to give the transition team for Joe Biden to get access to government resources and personnel. So he has allowed Joe Biden's team, which is probably just one person, going in there. It's a sad day in our politics when one side can admit to the T exactly what they're going to do it. And even for the people who ardently hate Donald Trump, that they're cool with it. People, it means if they can betray half the country, they're going to betray you to keep the facade up. So let's take a look real quick at that video with Donald Trump. From Fox, and it says there's no way that Joe Biden got 80 million votes. So here you go.
We won the election easily. There's no way Joe Biden got 80 million votes. I just said there's no way Joe Biden beat Barack Obama in the black communities of various cities, and then he did very badly compared to Obama in other cities throughout the United States. There's no way it happened. This election was a fraud. It was a rigged election.
And we're back. So that's a wild thing. So no one could imagine that, Joe Biden would get 80 million votes in this election. The guy is just like, wow. You would think, and you don't see anything about it. You don't see people cheering about him and saying how great he is. But this man's more popular than Elvis Presley, evidently. It really, really just blows my mind to that point. So just talk a little bit about music here in my local area. We had the Bellamy Brothers at one of our local hot spots here, the Brass Hall at 909 3rd Street here in Marble Falls, Texas. And they came out and they hit themselves a home run. One of the greatest things about our community up here in Marble Falls, and I'll tell you, from the Greater Marble Falls Society, Live Music Society, and the Texas Music Life, and Society Radio, is the downtown crowd, as I call them here in Marble Falls. They do so much just to keep the heartbeat of music going. I'm very proud and I'm very honored to be part of a group of individuals who understand that united we stand, divided we fall. So there's some really good things that are going on in music, and all you got to do is go on to Facebook events. I know everybody's like, big bad Zuckerberg. Well, what do y'all expect? When people bleed their personal lives out on Facebook, okay? What do they expect? You know, people puts pictures up here, look at the weed I got, or check out the illegal gun I bought. What do you expect's going to happen, people? Use your brains. Do like old Mel Highsmith does here, and I use my social media just to post stuff from my businesses, pictures of my beautiful family, and that's it. I'm not going to air my laundry out on Facebook. That's just absolutely insane. I mean, it really is. So, but, you know, to other crazy news, President Trump granted a full pardon to Michael Flynn, which he rightfully should have. So I'm going to pull it up right here. Let me see what we get. Okay. I'm the one who operates all the gear inside here. So I'm standing in a really dark room, some really bright lights on me. So let me click over here. So let's check out the audio on this one.
Details on this Michael Flynn.
This is from Cavuto Live,
right now,
Fox News.
This is a tweet from the president. It is my great honor to announce that General Michael T. Flynn has been granted a full pardon. Congratulations to General Flynn and his wonderful family. I know you will now have a truly fantastic Thanksgiving. You might recall this pardon comes after a judge that effectively ruled on a motion that the Justice Department's move to dismiss the case and undo the Flynn guilty plea was not going to be received too well. The president reported said he was considering granting the general a pardon in the case, but didn't act until now. You might recall that Flynn had pleaded guilty on December 1st, 2017, was part of a plea agreement to cooperate with the probe that was conducted under then Bob Mueller, the former FBI director, who was overseeing the so-called, named after him, Mueller investigation into ties the administration might have had with Russian players. Turned out to be much ado about nothing in the end. The Justice Department earlier this year had filed a motion to dismiss the case outright.
You know, here's the thing. Yes, the Michael Flynn prosecution came from the whole hoax that the Democrats threw at the sitting president of the United States nonstop over 4 years, Russian collusion, any other thing. I mean, he was responsible for the army ants in the Amazon killing, you know, livestock. So it's a crazy thing, but it's good that he used the power that he has before he's leaving office to pardon Michael Flynn. It's sad that everybody in the world is fodder to the Democrats and that they'll destroy everything. You know, during the past administration before Trump, they gutted all the generals in the military. Thank God that we've had these 3 years where he allowed them to attack him nonstop so the American people could get prepared for what's going to be coming up. Okay, because I can promise you, if you think they did the scorched earth policy in this election, you better believe if Donald Trump runs again or Trump Jr. runs again, they're going to burn the country to the ground. Because in the Democrats' mind, they do not see the United States anymore as a sovereign country. They see it as property of China. So it's really, really sad, and it'll blow you up. So in 1976, Jimmy Carter signed an executive order putting us in a state of emergency because of the country Iran. So I'm sitting here reading a report, USS Nimitz is sent to the Gulf as Iran war threat and grows. Well, you know, once Biden becomes office, because Trump was the first president in 40 years who did not start a new war or continue a current one. So you know what's going to happen is they're going to use that because Joe Biden will be one of the weakest presidents we've ever seen. And that's the complete 100% truth, okay? This is a man that's voted against every single war we've ever had, except for our war on crime, okay? He's the one that helped build our current justice system, 50 years in Congress. So the U.S. aircraft carrier Nimitz, aircraft carrier group, has to move back into the Gulf region. But a Navy spokesman said Saturday its return was not triggered by any threats after the killing in Iran of a top nuclear scientist. tensions in the region are extremely high after the assassination Friday of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, if I said that right. God, their names in the Middle East are hard to say. An act still unclaimed, but which Iran has blamed on U.S. ally Israel. You know, you just got to kind of take a breath right there. You know, Israel stands alone over there. Thank God that President Trump has been standing behind them. I mean, really, it just, there's not too much in this world that most people can take in. That I'm 51 years old. In my lifetime, there's always been a war in the Middle East. Always. It's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely. Sometimes I think this world's went upside down, and especially with some the people I talked to today working at beautiful Lakeside Pawn and Jewelry. And right now I'm going to play a little bit of a jingle for Lakeside Pawn and Jewelry, written and produced by Nathan Quinn Dees, the Reverend Nathan Dees, on YouTube and Instagram and all these other pages.
You want some cash, and you want it fast. Let's go to Lakeside Pawn. If you need a loan for your office or home, just go to Lakeside Pawn. They got instruments and strings, and guns and lots of things. So remember, if your loved ones have been gone, you can't get cash for that ring and a new guitar to sing. Just go to Lakeside Pawn. Just go to Lakeside Pawn.
And we're back. So I love that little jingle, Nathan. You know, he made that for Lakeside Pawn and Jewelry right when I first met him a couple of years back. The guy came in and asked me, could he take some pictures of our store and our inventory? I said, absolutely. I guess he went home, came back 2 days later, and brought us this jingle and offered us to buy it. We bought it from him, and so now we're airing it out. So thank you, Nathan Dees and Lakeside Pawn and Jewelry. So, okay, so we're going to be looking at some of the shows real quick before I close out. Episode 56 of The Real with Mel Highsmith. And we got Raquel and Sidewinders coming up December 4th, next Friday. Let's see where she's playing at. Raquel has a great voice. It's a powerful lady right there. So they're playing at the Alcove Cantina December 4th at 119 East Main Street in Round Rock, Texas. You know, you got to give it to a lot of the musicians. It's been real hard on everybody to go to these shows, and everybody's wearing masks, you know. Thank God these elections are almost over. Dear Lord. Okay, then, so that's Raquel and Sidewinders at the Alcove Cantina in Round Rock, Texas, December 4th. That's a Friday night. Saturday night, we got December 5th, Christmas market on Main Street here in Marble Falls. You gotta love it. Then at 6 p.m., we got, let's see. All I'm seeing is Am Riggs, but I need to, okay, here we go. Sam Riggs. Sam, you might want to make that picture a little bit smaller because it cuts it out in the event. He's playing at Lampasas, Putters, and Gutters. December 5th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Lampasas is a nice little town, turning into a little music town, so you got to love that one. So December 8th, which is that following Tuesday, you have Struggle Jennings, another one of the Waylon Jennings clan. I love all the Waylon's family. They're great people. I enjoy talking to them. Okay, to come and take it live at 2015 East Riverside Drive, Building 4, Austin, Texas. So check out Struggle Jennings. All right, well, it brings us down to the end of this episode, and I just want to tell you, thanks for joining me. And we're going to end this with a prayer like we always do. Okay, so here we go. Dear Lord, lay your loving hands upon the people of America. Give us the strength to carry on during these dark times. Dear Lord, brace and put your steel arms in front of the gates, for the barbarians and the wolves are there for our children. And in your name, amen. You gotta love this thing. You really, really do. It's called music. So let's end this out like we normally do with the solo of this old truck. God bless America.